Spurs fan Mark is in Yorkshire this morning. He's got some stuff to say to us about what he saw last night. Hello, mate.
Hello, how are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, we're good, thanks. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, there was three things like last night, and this result has been coming for quite a long time. The first problem we have is we got square pegs in round holes. And, you go out and the money that we've wasted over the last sort of few years. I mean, you've got one of the most creative midfielders who came up from the First Division last year in Gray. Why is he playing at fullback? Why don't you give Jed Spence a go? But that's by the by. I mean, there were three things from last night: lack of desire, lack of creativity, lack of direction. And I go and watch my football club home and away every week, and it's standing out now. We are going nowhere. And Postecoglou, I'm not his biggest fan, but the players have got to look at themselves as well and say, what were you doing last night? Because there was nothing there last night from the team. And I'm not so worried about the Chelsea game on Sunday, but next week at Rangers at Ibrox, we go up there next week. They'll just shiver. They will not want to know the atmosphere at Ibrox next week, and that could be massively embarrassing.
Mark, is that a lack of leadership for you then, when you're talking about that?
The biggest problem we've had over the last few years is we haven't had a captain. Lloris, he was great for us in goal, but he wasn't a leader. Son is not a leader, and as far as I think it's the time for Sonny to go. And whether Levy will keep him because he sells shirts, I don't know. But there is no...
Still your best player, though, isn't he?
I beg to differ on that one, but you're right. I mean, there's no leadership, no captain, and we haven't had a decent captain for years and years and years. But the biggest problem for me is there's no desire. Nobody wants to play in that system.
Okay.
And it was so... Last night, as you say, Bournemouth could have had 6 or 7, and we could have got turned over quite a few times this year.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
We're going to try and rattle through as many of these calls as possible because so many people want to get on. So let's quickly go to Kate, who's a Spurs fan. Hello.
Hello, guys. You all right?
Good morning,
Kate.
Salty.
Is it Kate? It is Kate. You're all right. He's not here today.
I know. Thank God for that. I don't have the capacity to deal with him today. I'm not going to lie. I have got no patience today. Listen, yesterday, absolute disaster. We've got Bournemouth, Ipswich, Brighton, Palace, Leicester, Fulham. That's 2 points we've taken out of 18. I think any big team, that's a sackable offence. It's near enough relegation form, when we play against these teams that aren't sort of the big teams like Manchester City. I agree with the last caller. He's playing Archie Gray as a midfielder at the back. He's playing Kulu on the wing when we all know he's been amazing in the middle. He's playing Johnson on the left when that's not his natural position. That's Werner's position. This guy isn't coaching the team. I agree we've got no leaders on, but I don't know if we've got a leader off. I don't think Ange is coaching that team. They literally look like they don't know what they're doing.
Kate, sorry to interrupt you. Can I just play devil's advocate here? Last week you was hammering our mate Salty for saying that he didn't believe in Ange, and you was hammering him.
No. I wasn't hammering him for not believing in Ange. I was hammering him because he never says anything nice about Spurs.
Oh, okay.
His agenda against Spurs is unbelievably biased. I mean, obviously Sam is a Chelsea fan, but he still remains unbiased. Crooksy, no, I can't listen to him. He waffles.
Now you know we feel.
Don't get salty.
Oh, salty. But no, seriously, for me, I think I just expect us to get absolutely trounced. I predicted us to lose to Bournemouth 3-1.
Are you coming to the game on Sunday?
No, I am not. I'm not even sure I'm going to watch it. I might hide somewhere.
Well, you can listen to me and Salty because we'll both be there. Kate, thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Hopefully it's not as bad for you as you think it might be. Dave is a Spurs fan in Australia. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, we're good, thank you.
I'm amazed that Bournemouth didn't roll over last night because, as everyone knows, our best tactic is we've got the best stadium and training ground in the galaxy and outer space, right? Look at our fullbacks on the bench last night. Spence signed over 2 years ago, not started a Premier League game. Reguilon, who's been on more loans than your local library, right? We are meant to be the 10th richest club in the world. And the last transfer window we had, what did we get in? Timo Werner on another loan. Gray, because Brentford was sniffing around. Bergvall. Højbjerg, Skip rightfully moved on, but they were experienced players. And we get 2 kids in that Langer says they're ready and good to go. But like the Lees last summer and Bergvall and Gray, the manager doesn't quite agree with it. And it's all very well talking about project managers and Arteta and Klopp. Klopp and Arteta were back in terms of the big calls that they wanted to make. Edith are more interested in hotels and go-kart tracks.
Interesting in what you said there. You mentioned Langer, Johan Langer, who is the sporting director, and that alignment between sporting director and football manager is really key, isn't it?
It's
right?
Huge.
So, like Klopp, we've mentioned here, had a good relationship with Michael Edwards at the start, then Julian Ward after that. You know, you need that. Edu and Mikel Arteta is another example of it. You need that sort of almost symbiotic relationship, otherwise it isn't going to work.
Absolutely, and if it doesn't align, there's so much static behind the scenes that people don't see that it just creates conflict all the time. And I'm interested in the Jed Spence situation because last season it wasn't for the manager, and then it seemed like at the start of the year he was working extra. They were working with him on the pitch. We saw at half time they were doing extra runs with him to get him fit and up and ready, and he's still not played. So
didn't they bump into each other in the summer or something when Ange turned up or at the training ground and Spence was there working?
That's
or
what I
something,
mean.
And there was sort of like a discussion,
seem...
and they thought they were going to use you and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but
so
it didn't happen.
It's either he's not having him at all. If that's the case, then you just need to sell him, or there's something that the player's not doing. But by all accounts, he's done everything. So why is he still not giving him a chance? I understand why he put Archie Gray in there because he's played there for Leeds and that's where he came through. But they bought him as a midfielder. So I just think there was a few. I think tactically and selection-wise, he got it wrong a little bit yesterday, and he'll probably assess that.
Last call for this section's got to go to Adam. Go for it, Adam.
Hi, Sam, Troy, good to talk to you guys. Loving the show. I just want to reiterate from what the callers just said, really. I think we need to get down to the specifics. Firstly, as a guy, Ange, great person, got nothing against him. I don't think he even deserved the full abuse he got last night. I've seen the video footage that was aired on social media. Second thing is, I think we have to accept that we as fans are split in what we think the best interest for the club is. And I think mainly everything such as words used as project, process, academy youth. It's amazing football when we beat City 4-0, as well as beating Villa 4-0, and then it comes down to the test of little teams, and I mean that respectfully. Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, what happened last night. We can't cut it, and I think the players have just given up. I think Ange, as a manager, he's not good enough. He's only got one philosophy, which is high press, 2 inverted wing backs. It's not going to work. And I think it's the problem, again, and the callers have said this as well, it is the ownership, unfortunately. 24 years, Levy and Enoch have owned the club. One cup has just shown and justified why we're not good enough and why we're not going in the right direction. And it's great that we're making commercial stuff off the pitch. I couldn't have it any better. But unfortunately, it's on the field that matters. And who's making the signings? Lange, Munn, Anthony was backed in the summer. With the players now, he's saying with what's going on now, he hasn't got the right players in the team. Werner was a poor example why we're kind of going in the wrong direction. Johnson, you can argue, Solanke, yes, they were chipping in goals here and there, but it's not good enough. We're not playing as a team. They're not playing for the manager, simple as.
Adam, thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's Adam as a Spurs fan. Listen, we've had a lot of Spurs response this morning and appreciate you getting in touch and giving your views. Certainly, there's a bit of discontent amongst the fan base about what's been going on. And they're 10th and they've won 1 in 6, and that was away at Manchester City. They thought it was a sign of brighter things to come. It didn't really turn out like that. And then you've got the other situation, which is someone's just texted in here saying no one's acknowledging how good Bournemouth were. Well, we have acknowledged how good they are, and they've been good against Chelsea. They should have beaten Chelsea earlier in the season, by the way. They did beat Arsenal, they did beat Manchester City, and they have now beaten Spurs. And Andoni Iraola, who came in after a really good spell at Rayo Vallecano, has done an absolutely superb job. They press so high up, they're so intense to deal with, and it's caused big teams problems.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.